This is not a boring white wall. It is in fact a blank canvas onto which I'm going to paint a graduated colourful background to do some fashion style portraits. But we're not going to be painting with paint, we are going to be painting with light. Let's go. To help me out today, I've got the amazing Chloe. Chloe's going to be the model for this photo session, and we could do this entire look with LED continuous lights, and frankly that might have been easier. But today I'm using flash. So I've got a couple of flashes we're going to use. You'll find gear links for everything I'm using in the video description down below. They'll take you back to Adorama. But before we get to adding our own light, I've actually got to remove the ambient light. I'm using a shutter speed of 2,500ths of a second, which is much faster than I would normally work, but I'm working in high speed sync flash mode because my aperture is really wide open, f1.4 to give me a shallow depth of field, and my ISO is on 100. And if I take a picture now, no flash, no picture, I've got control of the room lights, and everything you see from this point forward is light I control. No prizes for guessing what colour I'm going to gel the background. I don't have to go with red, but for the purposes of demonstration, red is going to clearly stand out. I might mix it up as we go through the session. But the most important thing is, where should this light go? Because I need to be really careful. If I put it in front of Chloe, then I'm going to light the background really evenly. But the downside is, I'm also going to light Chloe, which is not what I want at all. So this light, really importantly, has to be behind your subject. Now, I've got it beaming across the background. This light needs to give a nice wash of light. We're going to create a gradient, but we need to start with the colour. The question I guess I've got now is, how bright should I make that light? And the answer is, I'm not sure. So I've got them all on different groups. I've got that light as my C group, C for colour, and I'm going to put it in the middle of its power range, 1/16th power, and take a test photo. Let's see what we get. Here we go. So this is working really well. All I need to do now is to get a white light and have it beam at the top of my background to fill in the area up there. Now this light has to be brighter than the red light, so we need to push the red out the way and replace it with white. Once again, this light needs to be behind Chloe, otherwise it'll lighter, and we're going to get to lighting Chloe in a little bit with a third light. This is on group B for my background, and I don't know how bright to make it, so we might as well start at 1/16th power and see if this works. You never know your luck. Maybe this will be absolutely perfect. And the answer is, yeah, not quite. I mean, there is definitely a gradient in there, but that is not quite what I'm after. I would like a more defined line and a whiter white. What I could do is just increase the power of that light. If I go up to maybe 1/4 power, that's 2 more stops of light. That's going to push the red even further out and replace it with white light, which should give me a whiter top section. And it does, and it gives me a gradient, but that gradient is just a little bit too general. What I'm looking for is a definite gradient, a definite sort of change from white to dark. The secret to making this work is the standard 7-inch reflector. This does a couple of things. I'm using the lower powered Flashpoint Explore 100, and it boosts the power. It really does maximize the results. But it's not that I'm really interested in, it's the edge of the light it produces. Let me show you what I mean. So I've got the light a bit closer to the background than we had it before, pointing square onto the background. And if I take the same basic picture, I'm looking at the edge of that light to red section. Can you see the more defined shape it creates? And the gradient that's there is exactly what I want, but I want it to appear behind Chloe's head. The way I'm going to achieve that is by angling the light to the side and slightly up, because what I want is that curve shape to appear behind Chloe's head, but I can't predict where it's going to be very easily. So take a test photo, have a look. That's really the best way to go. So let's see what we get. Perfect. Okay, so now we have that nice, obvious graduated blend on purpose with a white section at the top and a red section at the bottom. So we better really get around to lighting Chloe's face. To light Chloe, I'm going to use this, which is the Flashpoint Explore 300 Pro Mark II, and I've got a 12 by 36 inch strip box. But where should this go? I guess if I just wanted to light Chloe, the obvious place would be dead center like this. This should give us nice lighting on Chloe, but there is a distinct downside that's worth discovering by putting the light in the wrong place. Because if I do absolutely nothing, I take this picture, have a look at that red background. The problem is with the direct light, the key light is lighting Chloe, but also lighting the wall. And white light onto a white wall is going to wash out that red color that we spent so long getting right in the first place. So what I need to do is find a way to make this light light just Chloe and not the wall. And the way I'm going to do it is to bring the light into the side and closer. By getting it closer, we invoke something called the inverse square law, which, if you want to find out more about, we have a whole bunch of videos on Adorama TV covering that in detail. But there are a couple of things I need to bear in mind. It will still go to the side, so I might still get some wash on the background. I'll check that in a minute. But also, light will hit the white wall and then bounce back onto Chloe, which is why I've got this black fabric hanging over the wall. Okay, let's just take a test photo, see how this looks. I'll need to reduce the power of that light quite a bit because it is closer. So let's see how this looks. And the answer is pretty good. I think I can enhance it further by putting a grid on that light, which will give a more dramatic light on Chloe and further reduce the spill onto the background, really making that color come through. And that is the lighting setup for this look done. You'll notice really with the posing point of view, Chloe is going to be a profile picture, but I think that really works with the whole styling, which is quite a stark, dramatic look. One thing I might change as we go along is the color of the background gel, but for now I think we should take a few photos like this. So Chloe, are you ready? Here we go. Because I've got a really small home studio, Chloe is limited to the amount of posing she can do. So one of the quickest ways to transform this look is swap out that red gel for something like a blue gel. Same idea, different color, new set of photos. That worked really well and I love the color background. But if you're thinking, what would it look like in a black and white version? Well, I've got a bonus tip for you for making it all the way to the end. Use a green gel on the background. That way, when you put it into black and white, you can affect just the greens and you can have them lighter or darker, but you won't affect Chloe's skin tones. Now, if you enjoyed this video or you got any questions, go down to the comments, leave us a comment, click on the thumbs up button, and of course, check out the gear links. And whilst you're down there, if you haven't already done so, you should definitely click on that subscribe button. I'm Gavin Hoey. Thanks for watching.